Hello, let me tell you something awesome if you want to start a podcast and you don't have the funds to do so. And if you haven't heard of Anchor by Spotify, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. And even it has everything you need in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allows you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Easy to use. If I can use it, anybody can use it. Also, when hosting on Anchor, you get to distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more, and which is something you don't have to do nothing. Anchor does everything for you. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place, and best of all, Anchor is totally free. Check it out right now. Start a podcast. I cannot wait to hear you speak.
Hello, welcome to Truck Stop Murder and True Crime Podcast. I am your host, Gary Howard. Hopefully, everybody's doing well. And if you're a return listener, thank you for coming back. If you're a new listener, let me tell you what I do. I am a truck driver. I drive over the 48 states of the continental U.S. And during that time, I have to take 10-hour breaks where I stay at truck stops, kind of like my home away from home, inside a truck. Homeless person, I guess. I don't know. But on this, well, I'll talk about that truck stop reviews, what to eat around it, and what's the parking like there. Also, I'll talk about a murder slash crime that happened nearby it. So while I'm here in Jeffersonville, Ohio, waiting on my next load, I thought I would go ahead and do that. Now, I did stay at the Flying J across the street from here, where I'm at right now, to wash clothes and take a shower because that's where we fuel at, and I don't have to pay for it. But then afterwards, I came across the street to Sheets, number 759 in Jeffersonville, which they do have beer here. So if you like to drink, don't go to Flying J. They don't have it. And if you want to know the address of this place, it is 321 State Street, Jeffersonville, Ohio. Their zip code 43128. It's on I-71 exit 69. Has 35 parking spots, which has been plenty of parking the whole time I've been here. If you're a truck driver, you're coming through here, the Flying J had some parking, but this place was pretty much empty. I think I woke up around midnight and it was like halfway filled. And I think it's a nice place. It's really clean, looks very new. The girls in there are working very hard trying to keep it nice. So it seems like it's fairly new too because there's only 3 reviews and it's a 5-star review. So I could give you all the. This is the first time on this show I'm going to be able to give you all the reviews since there's only 3 and everybody's happy. But let's see what there's to eat. They have an Arby's nearby here. Also inside they have like a burger place. I'm not for sure. Wendy's is nearby. Subway. A lot of these places, Cinnabon and Denny's is right across the highway. Now I don't know how the Denny's is. I just know that when I was there, this one guy was waiting to be seated, and he finally said "screw it" and left. And some other people were saying the same thing. They had to wait forever to get seated, and the guy's like, "Screw it! I'm just gonna get some food from the little deli area where they have pizza and chicken strips." He said, "I wanted the Denny's, but oh well, because they don't want my service." But they have a burger place inside here too. It's not on the trucker's path. I can't see it. And let's see what the reviews. And the one thing cool about this place is the store actually reads the reviews. Actually, 2 of the reviews are the same person, so it makes me wonder if it's a worker here. I don't know. Well, let's see. Anonymous user says it's nice, clean place, nice parking, dilly dilly. Yep. And of course, happy to hear it was a good visit. Thank you so much for the 5-star review, Sheep Team. Another one, the next 2 is Lunchbox 31. Says very large, open parking lot, large parking spots, parking. Thank you for stopping by. We'll really appreciate the 5-star review. Thank you, Sheets. And the last review, very clean, easy ordering food and paying. That's what we like to hear. Here's the Sheets owner. It says own Sheets owner. That's what we like to hear. Thank you so much for stopping by, Sheets. And there is the review. So through this in not even 5 minutes of truck stop. But there's really, like I said, I could just I-79 exit 69. Just said 35 spots. And what's it say? It says this general information is my Sheets rewards have a few 3-cent fuel discount if you have that quick queue accepted, order on the app, Sheets Go, freakishly clean restrooms, MTO menu, indoor seating, outdoor seating, beer cave, sunglasses, gloves, retail def, wiper blades, flashlights, steer locks, toolkits, tire repairs, and driver logs, which everything's ELD. I think there's still some people that uses paper logs. I'm not for sure. And there's one, two, three, four, eight diesel lanes. It looks like. Does it have it on here? The one thing about this, yeah, eight diesel lanes. They don't have no showers or laundry. That's why I kind of went. Well, mainly because I went over there because I do have reward points. Do Fly and J because I fuel there. That's where my company fuels, but they don't have those type of amenities here. But overall, I would give it a five. I mean, I'm not going to count that. If I counted that, then I would give it like a 4-star review for not having that. But for a place to just, if you don't need to take a shower or wash clothes, it's definitely a 5-star for me too. So let's talk about what the crime is. And it was between two, but one is still ongoing. I'm not going to say what it is. But let's talk about a murder that happened just north of me. We're talking about the murder of Jessica Keen in or Jessica Lyn Keen, born September 24th, 1975, March 16th, 1991. She was a murder victim killed in Foster Chapel Cemetery in West Jefferson, Ohio. That is right west of Columbus, if you're curious, on the north side of 70, I believe it is. Her case was profiled on the television program Unsolved Mysteries, which I watched. It's amazing. It does into interviews, everything Paula Zan, on the case with Paula Zan, and the dead silent on investigation discovery. But yeah, let's talk about before Jessica Lynn Keen, a 15-year-old girl. Yes, 15-year-old girl from Columbus, Ohio, was a model student and an honor student and a cheerleader. However, she quit cheerleading and her grades dropped after meeting a boy in the school, 18-year-old Sean Thompson, and fallen in love. Her parents objected to her seeing the young man, but did not know what to do. Lot on some mysteries, they said because he was a different race than her. I mean, gender, not gender, but color. I guess was one of the things, and because her grades started falling down, she started skipping school. But yeah, March 4th, 1991, together they decided to seek help at a free counseling center in Columbus, the home for troubled teens. Huckleberry House offered temporary residence for 2 weeks individual and family counseling sessions. Which I would like to know more about that. What made them? Were there just like control freaks over her? Why would they feel like that she needed counseling? I know her grades start slipping, but she's also 15 and she's going through like a change in life. I know when I was 15, I sure didn't know what the fuck I was doing from day one to day two. I think that's when my started going down too. Even though I was really never academically good, and I'll shut up, Ezra. Okay. She says I babbled too long, and I probably could. I'm just in a truck by myself all day long. And so once I get on subject, I can just talk, 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 talk. By the way, on my Facebook page, I left a link on there. If you want to leave a voicemail, click on the link. I know I did that. Someone just printed hello on it. Actually, a good friend of mine that I've known for damn near 50 years. Yes, I said 50 years. I know him since like 76, 77. I cannot remember him. But click on that link and you can send me a voicemail as long as it's nice and not rude. Well, if it's rude and funny, I might put it on just for a laugh. But yeah, do that. I like to hear from y'all. But yeah, the 2 days she was about to leave this facility, and 2 days before leaving, she had got a call from her boyfriend. Or she called her boyfriend, and we don't know what they said, but it was not very good. She was very upset, and they got into an argument, and she hung up and decided to go to the mall. And the last time she was seen alive was at a bus station, bus stop, waiting to get on there. They think that maybe somebody had picked her up. At the time, they thought it might have been friends. They thought it was multiple people might have picked her up. But after that, she was never seen again. And at that point, the trail, well, it didn't go cold yet. But yeah, so 2 days later, her body was found early in the morning on March 17th. King's body was found at the back of Forest Chapel Cemetery, 20 miles from the teen facility. She had been raped and badly beaten. She was still wearing her ring and watch, but a pendant with the word taken that her boyfriend gifted her was nowhere to be found. So, of course, her boyfriend was the prime suspect, but he had a solid alibi. Him and his friends had took a trip down to Florida prior to this happening, so once they came back, they did DNA. They interrogated him, DNA test on him and the group, and they did not because there was semen also found on the scene, and the semen did not match none of them. It proves that they were not responsible. Police theorized that she had escaped her abductor and ran in the cemetery where they think that she was actually abducted and was beaten, tortured, and raped for like 6 hours. Then she was able to get away. Evidence in the cemetery shows that she tried to hide behind stones. A pair of her socks was found, and a knee imprint in the mud behind a gravestone was found with or near the socks. She was killed near a fence in the cemetery. She was trying to because it was kind of dark in the cemetery time. It was late at night, and she saw a distant farm in the house distance. So she was trying to get to that farm, but she ran into a fence pole because she couldn't see it. And I could see why because this it wasn't near some of these cemeteries are very dark. I parked near many of them. At nighttime, you can't see. There's no lights. Some of them have like little little lights that the sun kind of powers them up. But most part, it's pitch black. And if you're running, and you could just run right into the fence and not even see it. But yeah, her mom hopes that she was knocked out from this collision, but her abductor caught up to her and killed her. What At the time, he knocked her out and just left her for dead. Her family since placed a cross with her name at this location on it, where her body was discovered near a fence in the cemetery. If you want to see videos of this, go to Lamont at Large, I believe it is. He did a really good episode where he shows you her final resting place and also where they found her body. So now, who did it? Since her boyfriend didn't do it, they have no suspects. So now, like they say, the trail went cold, and the trail went cold until April 9th, 2008. Police in Burlington, North Carolina, arrested Martin Lee Smith Jr. based on DNA evidence. Smith was charged with unlawful sexual conduct on Keen, a felony, and was extradited back to face charges. In 2009, Smith pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in a Madison County courtroom. Confirmed he had raped and murdered Keen. Evidence showed that Keen had escaped his car and run into Forest Chapel Cemetery, where she collided with a fence post, like I said, and fell. Keen was then beat to death with a tombstone that was discarded over the fence nearby. Reports show that the police had found body pieces, bloodied pieces of a tombstone. In exchange for his admission of guilt, Smith avoided a death penalty trial that was set for March 2009. He pled guilty to one charge of aggravated murder and specifications of rape and murder, and was sentenced to 30 years in prison without parole. And I evaluated that. So, like I said, 2038, he would be getting out of prison, clean sheet, no parole, no nothing. He'll serve his full 30 years. And that'll make him 82 years old. So he will still be functioning long. He don't die in prison. He can still get out and live a good life. Where Jessica, she is not going to be able to do that. She is not going to be able to have children. She's not going to be able to. Her mother's not going to be able to have grandchildren or none of that stuff. So he just ruined their whole life. But yeah, he will get out of prison. But Jessica will always be dead. And March 1991, that is where she took her last breath. And if you want to know where to pay your last respects for Jessica Lyn Keen, here it is. You can find this information on Find a Grave. Jessica Lyn Keen, Keen. She was born September 24th, 1975, in Columbus, Ohio. She was murdered on March 16th, 1991, at age 15, in West Jefferson, Ohio. She's at the Sunset Cemetery. Her memorial ID is 6664952. And on here it says Jessica Lyn Keen, age 15, Sunday, March 16th, 1991, attended Westland High School, where she was a cheerleader, survived by her mother, Rebecca Keem Smitley of Columbus, father, James Keen of Dayton, sister, Heather Keen of Dayton, maternal grandparents, George E. and Smith Smitley of Columbus, parental grandparents, George and Rosemary Keen of Sarasota, Florida, S-A-R-A, Sarasota, Florida, stepsister, Jamie Keen of Dayton. Well, I'm not going to do all this, but you'll find this on Final Grave. Her father did pass away in 2021. Her mother's still alive, so rest in peace, Jessica and James Keen. If you like that, please share with others on social media or whatever. Also, if you like, join my Facebook group, Truck Stop Murder, a True Crime Podcast. And I also have a YouTube channel, which I'm trying to grow. I like to start going live at some of these locations where I can go to with my semi truck. So you go Truck Stop Murder, True Crime. Also, Twitter at Truck Murder, Instagram at Truck Stop Murder, True Crime. Again, like I said, go to my Facebook group. I left a link on there where you can send a voicemail and it could be played on a show if it's funny or if it's rude, mean, but in a funny way, I'll still put it. All right, then you can support me on Patreon if you want to at Truck Stop Murder. Also, if you just don't want to be committed and just want to help me get some new equipment, it's truckstopmurder at gmail.com on PayPal. Also, if you want to email me, just same email, truckstopmurder at truckstopmurder at gmail.com. And I guess I didn't get I'm still waiting on load. I did not get interrupted while recording this, so awesome. So again, like I say, you can't fix stupid, but you can sure numb it with a 2x4. I am out of here.